Hello and welcome to Bloodsport MMA. Today, with another prediction video. We will predict the UFC 273 event that will go down this Saturday. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. Let's get these followers up, make some new numbers, continue the good journey, and like this video, comment down below who you think will win these fights, give your predictions, and enjoy the video. It's a very stacked card. Only 13 fights, but 13 good fights, I would say. I'm very hyped for this card, really hyped. It's crazy. Mostly because of the Khamzat fight, to be honest. But also the two title fights are nice. We have Ian Gary making his comeback, a prospect like Anthony Hernandez fighting there, and so on and so on. So it's a pretty nice card. If I would be you, I would definitely tune in. So we'll predict the three main fights on the card. To start, we have Khamzat Borts Chimaev against Gilbert Durinho Burns. Burns is definitely the toughest test until now for the Borts. Burns is a very durable guy, very good jiu-jitsu artist. Like, he probably is the second best jiu-jitsu guy after Demian Maia in MMA right now. Demian Maia went away. I think he retired, but it wasn't long ago, so you know what I mean. He's a multiple jiu-jitsu world champion. Great ground game, also showed it in MMA already, that he has great ground game. And stand-up is also good. He has power. He's the only one until now, I think, yeah, he's the only one I saw clipping Usman. He clipped him, he really clipped him. Rewatch the fight. He then got finished, but that's also a problem that Burns has, in my opinion. His chin is not the very best. I don't want to take anything away from Burns, but his chin has been, unlocked sometimes. He got knocked out a few times in the UFC, and as we all know, or should know, Khamzat Chimaev seems to have crazy power. You saw it against Meerschaert. Meerschaert is a veteran in this game, and he knocked him out with one shot. One shot, no setup, nothing, just a nice right hand, and it was all over. So Khamzat seems to have power, and he's also very big. So I think that Khamzat will weigh in, like at the fight. Of course, in the weigh-ins before the fight he will be 170, but at the fight I think Khamzat will be much heavier than Burns, in my opinion. That could be that special point in this fight. Not the weight itself, but the power of Khamzat. I am really interested to see how Khamzat will approach that fight. Normally, he shoots very fast. Like, he does 1-2 strikes to set it up and then shoots for the takedown. I don't think he will do that against Burns. You also saw it with Gerald Meerschaert. Gerald Meerschaert is also a big jiu-jitsu threat, I would say. And it was also advertised like that this is his biggest test until now because he's a black belt, a legit black belt and all that. What did Khamzat do? He went for the striking. Of course, it was only one shot, but he didn't shoot a takedown. I believe he will do the same against Burns. There's always a possibility of Khamzat shooting, but I think Khamzat tries to stay standing with Burns. And I think we haven't seen too much of Khamzat striking, but I somehow have the feeling that Khamzat will knock him out. Maybe I'm just part of the hype train. It's okay. I'll really like him. I like Burns too, definitely. And Burns always has a chance to win. Like, Burns is a monster. I'm just curious, man. This fight could go any possible way. And it would also be nice to see Khamzat in a real fight, like in a 3-round fight or something, you know, like, yeah, maybe not. I don't think he will go to distance. I don't see any way that goes to distance, but just see him 2.5 rounds, see him get punched, see him get, I don't know, get to be on his back, whatsoever. I just want to see more of Khamzat. I would love to see that. But my prediction is that Khamzat knocks Burns out. Yeah, I think he knocks Burns down and then follows with some follow-up ground and pound shots, and the fight will get stopped. I would say round one. I say round one. I think Khamzat has so much power. He's so aggressive. Burns is also some kind of aggressive. But as I said, his chin has been, more than tested before. It didn't hold up all the way. I think Khamzat first round KO/TKO. In the second fight, the co-main, we have Aljamain, Sterling, Funkmaster against Petr, Jan. The first fight was, in my opinion, a pretty clear fight. The first round, Aljo did a good job. I was very surprised when I watched it. He was pressuring so much. I still don't know how he wasn't like out of every oxygen that is possibly possible in the, when was it, third, fourth round? The knee? I can't recall it. He really showed that he has a great gas tank, even though of course he was a little bit more tired at the end, but it's normal. Look at the first round, man. Most people would have died within the first round. Don't underestimate Aljo. I know the first fight was pretty clear, in my opinion. Jan, for me, is one of the craziest guys I ever saw fighting. But Aljo, for me, of course, if you're top to the top, you always have the puncher's chance. Because it's always a small difference, and you always have the chance to knock him out, submit him whatsoever. But I think the threat for Petr Jan is the first round. The first round, he's still dry, and Jan somehow seems like a slow starter. I still believe that he just downloads like the file of his opponent, what he does, and then he uses that in the second, third, fourth, and fifth round. But in the first round, it's his baddest round, in my opinion. And Aljo's first round is probably his best round. So it's possible that Aljo lands the upset with a submission or something. It would be nice. Not because I don't like Petr, I love Petr. But I just love upsets. I loved it when Amanda Nunes got beat by Juliana Pena, and I think from the level, this would be the same upset in our heads, because who believes that Aljo wins this fight against Petr Jan after the domination of Petr in the first fight? You know what I mean? But I stick with Petr. I think he survives the first round, I think he makes it to the first round, and then, because he's a little bit angry at Aljo, and to make Petr angry is not the best thing you can do, I think he stops him in the third round. I say third round, stoppage, referee stoppage, TKO, KO/TKO. My prediction. The main event of the evening. Alexander, the Great, or the Average, how Siudo calls him, Volkanovski, against the Korean Zombie, Chan Sung-Jung. The Korean Zombie stepped up for Max Holloway. It was not a short notice, but it was scheduled to be Max Holloway against Volk, and then Max fell out, and the Korean Zombie stepped up. I still don't agree with that matchup. I think that other people would have deserved it more than the Korean Zombie, but leave that beside. He's a good fighter. He has good power in his hands. Had many knockout finishes in his career. So always somebody that you have to be aware that he has power. Because if you can knock somebody out in this division, if you knocked some people out, you can also knock Volk out. Volk has a great chin. He's been knocked out once in his life, and that was his only loss. Ever since, he's never been knocked out or anything close to it. So it's a great chin. There's always a chance of the Korean Zombie landing a knockout. I don't see anywhere in this world, just wait that it happens. When I say I don't see it, it will happen, believe me, but I don't see the Korean Zombie landing a submission. He had the first Twister win in UFC history, yes, but I don't see him submitting Volk. For me, Volk is just too big of a stud. He's minus 850 or something favorite, and for me it's totally deserved. Totally deserved. He's such a beast, man. He's good in every aspect of the fighting game. Like, since I saw him escaping the submission of Ortega, I think this man can't be finished anymore. Of course, every man can be finished, but yeah. We will see, we will see. What definitely makes the Korean Zombie better, in my opinion, is Triple C. Triple C is an amazing coach. I think he can make every fighter, every champion a bit better. He helped Figueiredo a lot. Figueiredo looked a lot better, even though Moreno won that fight, but Figueiredo looked a lot better. Sean Weili looked a lot better. Was a very, very close decision, in my opinion. Who do we also have? Iri Prochazka, he will coach. We didn't saw that. He will also coach John Bones Jones. We didn't see that, but I have high hopes in that. I don't think it is enough, also because it was just a few weeks to prepare the Korean Zombie. I don't think you can prepare the Korean Zombie to win against Volk, because I strongly believe that Volk is just a better fighter. And if you're just on a different level, yeah, the other one can have the best coaches, and it helps him, of course, but I think the gap is still there. So my prediction is Volkanovski. If you know me, if you saw some videos of me, I like finishes. I like to predict finishes. Volk wins most of the fights by decision. But don't forget, he doesn't have paper hands. He knocked people out before. He may not be the strongest power puncher in the world, but he knocked people out before. And don't forget Max Holloway and Brian Ortega, who he fought the last few times. These guys have like chins like rockets. You can't knock these guys out. Of course you can, but it's nearly impossible. So don't forget that. I think Volkanovski will outstrike and out-technique, if this even is a term. Like, with his technique in every aspect of the fight, he will dominate the Korean Zombie and knock him out in the third round. I know there are 5 rounds, but I think in the third round, Volkanovski will KO/TKO the Korean Zombie. And Cejudo will be very sad. So write in the comments what you think. Who will win in these 3 fights? Are you excited for the event? Write in the comments. As always, to make sure that you're healthy when you watch the event, eat your vegetables. And see you next time. Bye-bye. Bloodsport out.
Eat your vegetables.